Okay, we've got a 92 Buick Park Avenue, and you may have run into this problem before. The car turns on, but it won't crank. And you can tell it's a problem because you'll see while you're trying to crank, the security light is flashing, or it stays on during cranking. Now, the cars that have this problem are called a pass key, GM pass key type, and they have a key that looks like this. Now, the problem with the car is actually in the ignition tumbler here. There is a Hall effect switch in here. If you were to take this out, and you have to do that by taking the airbag out, then taking the steering wheel off, then the lock plate and the turn signal switch, and then there's a screw and this switch comes out. Now, it has two white wires coming out of it. You can't see the white wires here, but inside, and they're almost always broken when this problem occurs. Now, when this happens, it could be the key. The little resistor in the key right here can go bad, but the way to test that is to put another key. If you have a second key, if the second key doesn't work, then it's most likely this tumbler is bad, or the wire's broken. So what I do is I try the second key. If the second key doesn't work, then I'll go out and with the key on, I'll jump the starter from the S terminal to the battery post on the starter. And if it starts and dies, then we know it's a security lockout, because the security lockout locks out the starter and it locks out the fuel pump. So I've already done all that. I've confirmed that definitely this cylinder is bad, and I'm going to show you another way to fix it. This cylinder sells for around between $35 and $60, depending on where you go. And it comes with a template key, so the key won't work that comes with it. So then you have to go buy new keys, and they're like $40 a piece. So here's the fix. You take the key and you measure the resistance with an ohm meter on both sides. Put one terminal on that silver strip and one terminal on this silver strip, and you get your resistance. This one happens to be 2,360 ohms. So what I did was I went to Radio Shack, and for $3 I bought two resistor packs. One was 2,200 ohms and the other one was 150. So that gave me 2,350 ohms, which is a little short, but there's a 2% variance. Then I went under the car, under the dash here, and I took this panel loose. There's 3 screws that hold the panel. And what you're looking for, you want to make sure you do not touch this yellow wire. This wire is for the airbag, and you can cause it to deploy. But there's an orange wire coming out of the column, and it goes over to the ignition switch. And I cut that as long as I could, so I had some length. And then I pulled the insulation off of it, right here. And that left me 2 white wires. I took my 2 resistors and I soldered them together to give me my 2,350 ohms. And then I soldered them between the 2 wires. And what that does is that mimics a key. Now, this makes the car a little more vulnerable to theft, but it's an old car, and probably it's not going to have that kind of a problem. And it would have cost $200 to fix the car, so we didn't spend much time. And now any key would go in here. Now, if you needed to make a replacement key, you don't even have to buy a key with a chip anymore. Or it's not a chip, it's a resistor. But I happen to still have the old keys, Put the keys in, turn the key, car starts right up. So that took about 20 minutes to do that job, and it cost $3 in parts. So there's your fix. It is a little more vulnerable to stealing. The original design was that if you put the wrong resistor key in the hole, you would have to wait 3 minutes to try a different key. And so that was my first clue that it was a bad Hall effect switch in the tumbler, because it didn't matter. After 3 minutes, I still couldn't make the key work, either one of the keys. So there you have it, a quick fix for the pass key system on a GM. This happens to be a 92 Buick Park Avenue. Thank you.